Well, thank you for being a part and joining us here on the F5 Recovery Podcast. We're super excited to be able to be here. We have a very special guest. Tori Barnum is going to be with us today.
Tori!
Hey, which is awesome. But of course, none of this is possible without some of our amazing sponsors. I'll remember a couple.
Because we flew Tori in.
Yeah. Flew it in from Dickinson.
Boy, are my arms tired.
Ding pong.
That one in your book.
Oh,
yeah. It just wasn't.
He's going to fit right in. So I want to thank, of course, the F5 Project, the Ridge Treatment and Reentry Center, GoAwayBear.com, H&I Nutrition.
It's Barney Pub and Eatery.
Barney Pub and Eatery.
And
That was really like when you texted me last night.
construction.
Back to.
Back to.
What happened to the first time? Sorry.
Well, I'll have to find out.
I guess I was too close to Scott, too. I guess.
That was funny.
You over construction. Yeah.
What was it? 9 fingers? Instruction?
Yeah, 9 fingers left.
Yeah.
Construction. That was the best name. That's the best name ever.
If you're tuning in, definitely hit us up and let us know what you like about the show. Please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube and all the other fun things. And yeah, it's going to be a great show. I'll turn it over to Adam.
Hey, everybody.
No.
I love Facebook a lot.
So today we have Tori, who is our F5 Regional Director of the Western
Hemisphere.
What's the other word that starts with a C?
Continent, country, county, club.
Carrot
I don't remember.
giver.
Congrand? I don't remember. Anyway, so today Tori is replacing temporarily Ricky because Ricky's on baby daddy duty. And we got little Ricky. Come here, little Ricky. Come here. Come on, man.
Canadian?
I just told him not to. He's got to listen to his
You guys are
story.
confused.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
Oh,
said,
your daddy
"Don't
told
know."
you not to.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know the chord yet.
Yeah.
Can't
Rip it
sing.
down.
Here
Rip
he comes.
it down.
Here he comes.
You can't
Oh,
sing.
there
Here
you
he
go.
comes.
Ooh,
Ricky.
you're a little top heavy.
Big Ricky. He can't sing. You said he doesn't know the chords.
Holy moly. It's getting deep.
Oh.
Scott.
I'm almost on
We
vacation.
welcome Tori on today. He's going to be our guest
Surprise
host along with me and Kirsten and Scott. Ricky is in the house with little Ricky, but he's on daddy duty. So thank you, Ricky, for getting everything set up, man.
Thanks for the balls.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
anytime. I always got balls.
In her bag.
Yeah.
So Tori,
Adam, thank you for the invite.
yeah, I was last night we were at the Red Hawks game and I was on my way out and I was like, wait a minute, we need to have Tori on the podcast. And so Tori's been working with us for
October will be 2 years.
October, be 2 years. So he's been working at F5 for 2 years. He prior to that was a bar manager,
Owner? Yes.
manager.
Still currently a bar owner.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and you're in recovery.
Correct.
Yeah, you're kind of like Luke Perry from 90210.
Or Sam Malone.
Sam from
Malone
Cheers.
for us older ones.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Who?
Sam Malone.
Norm.
Norm.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh boy.
You've never watched
I'm
Cheers?
kidding.
Oh my.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's all going. It's like, everybody knows Cheers.
Yeah, where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, everybody knows me.
Yes.
That used to be me at Lucky's Bar. Scott!
So how long have you been in recovery?
October will be 10 years.
10 years. How long have you owned the bar?
So my wife's father bought the bar in '95. It was a family-owned bar, and it was around 2010 when we moved to Dickinson to help them run the bar. When the boom got crazy out there, we tried to run away from our alcoholism, run to Dickinson, and
you ran right into a bar.
right into a bar that we didn't pay for a thing. So it was like, I like to reference, if you read comics back in the day, it's like Garfield guarding the lasagna factory.
Yes.
It didn't go well.
Yeah. So for 4 years.
Yeah.
You were still drinking when you ran that bar.
Yeah,
And then for the last 10, you've been sober.
correct. Yes.
Interesting. I bet there's some crazy stories in that 4 years.
A lot of crazy stories. Yeah, equally crazy stories in the running a bar sober.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been wild.
Do
Cool.
tell. We have time.
Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
Calm down, Kirsten.
I love stories.
She loves drunks. So tell us, why FI? Why'd you come to work for us?
You know, I didn't even know FI was a thing. FI found me. I didn't find it. It found me. Since I've been sober 9 years. October will be 10. Long story short, obviously, I joined the military when I got out of high school. I went to Moorhead High, same high school as Adam. Graduated a little different. I graduated in '96. Shouldn't have graduated, but I did. Went to the YES program, Youth Education Program.
I interned there.
You did?
Anyway, totally
I went one day.
Oh, you did?
They sent me to
Probably the intern.
MCAT.
Yeah, right.
No, I also graduated in '96. We're very young.
Oh, okay. Yes, very young. Very young. A lot of years left. So I knew I was unable to manage my own life, inside. I just knew that. So I ended up joining the Army with a buddy of mine who has since committed suicide. He was my best friend growing up, and he was my battle buddy going into the Army. And he's no longer with us, but his name's Travis Burnside. He was a great guy. The Army was something that I thought could clean me up, make choices better for me, you know what I mean? But it turned out that was, I also made bad choices there, all alcohol related, got in a lot of trouble in the military. There was a day, I remember the day that changed my life.
I've never actually heard anyone have a good, like I went to the military to become better.
Yeah.
I've yet to hear one where it's like, and it did. I've made all good decisions since I went to
We
the
probably
military.
don't meet those
Yeah.
guys.
They don't hang out with us. They're generals and shit. They're still there.
They're still in the
Still
military.
doing it.
It was the right choice for me. It was good for me, for sure. It wasn't for me. I'm not built for the military,
Yeah.
but it was good for me.
Mm-hmm.
I got in a lot of trouble. They're called Article 15s. I got a few of them. They're not good.
No.
I lost a lot of rank, lost a lot of money, lost a lot of privileges. The day that I changed, I was standing in front of a full bird colonel. That's one step below general. He's not many people meet full bird colonels, let alone in their office. I'm pretty sure he had a lot better things to do than deal with my drunk. We don't swear on it.
Oh, yes,
Sure
we
do.
do.
Oh, my drunk ass.
Ooh, you swore.
We got it out. But he told me he could make me a civilian that day. And I had always felt like I was a loser and that I made bad choices. I never realized that alcohol was my issue. It took me a long time after that to realize it was alcohol that was the main problem. But I always felt like a loser and that I was bad at making decisions. But at that day, I felt like a loser, and I also felt like I let down my country. And that was
That's heavy.
that was something that really dug into my DNA, and I decided to stop being a piece of shit, and I decided I was going to be a good person from then on out. And I did, and I became a non-commissioned officer, and I left the military with good terms, and I became a leader, and I gained really good things from it. I still wasn't able to accept alcohol was the issue. I didn't even realize it was. But fast forward a long time further, moving to Dickinson and becoming a bar owner, it was my dream to become the life of the party, to be somebody that was, when I found bartending after I got out of the military, it was something that I just knew was built for me. I could drink all the time. I could drink at work, before work, at my place of work when I wasn't working. Everybody wanted to be me. I was confident. I knew I could be myself, hammered, and people liked me. And it drove me to be able to be an owner of a bar. It got me to DSU. I got my business degree at DSU, and I made it. I made it to where I wanted to be. And it's kind of a funny story. When I graduated, we were about to buy into the bar, and that was the same year that my wife's father passed away. before he passed away, my wife, thank God, was the smartest one between the two of us, and she admitted she had a problem, something that I couldn't do, and she went into treatment. She went into Heartview. She went there for a month, and I quit drinking with her, not because I was an alcoholic, but because I was being a supportive husband, and I took the role of I'm going to be a supportive husband, and I'm going to quit drinking with you, and I didn't have to deal with the acceptance. I didn't have to deal with the stigma. There's no stigma to being a supportive husband. I got a lot of credit for that. So that was easy. So I went to Al-Anon for a long time. And at that time, I had graduated. She had went into treatment. Her dad passed away. Everything just got crazy. And so we had to sell the bar. And so that was my first step of letting go. My dream was right there. I was going to be an owner of something that I've wanted to do for so long. And I had to let it go for family. And I let it go. And it was within a year later, the gentleman that bought it, he didn't do very well. He wasn't a real people person, and the bar failed. And so it was like a contract for deed style purchase. And so we got the bar back. And my mother-in-law reached out to me and said, we're getting the bar back and I need a manager. And I said, I was about a year sober. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to come back to manage. I'll come back to own, because I worked at Fastenal for about a year. I do not like sales, man. You talk about sales and how good you were at it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm good at it. I could do it, but I didn't like it.
Did you see on the personality skills that I scored higher on prospecting than you did?
Then Tori?
Than you.
Oh. You did?
Yeah.
I
I was all the way over to the left.
was in the middle.
I was 81. You were like 40.
Oh, I wasn't.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. I don't know what
Oh,
you're...
like sales prospect, finding opportunities.
Oh.
Yeah. We did a personality test.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I was 95% extrovert.
What was the one? What was the weird one for you? Like the really high number that you got? You were, because you were by me on one, or maybe I was on the wrong side.
You might have been in the wrong place.
Because I think I went. Yeah, I went to the other side.
You were on thinking on the other side, and feeling was on. It was thinking and feeling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were way on the other side for feeling, and I was way on the objective, like thinking.
Correct. Yeah.
I was up there by Cody Stanley.
Yeah. Did you screw something up?
No, man. I just think it's really cool that I was really like we kept having the C-suite on two on each opposite sides or whatever, so they're really well balanced. But the interesting thing that people did not see is I had switched on multiple times during those times.
Yep.
So I was like, there was things of Cody that I had, and then there was things of Scott that I had, like the prospecting with Scott, and then the thinking with Cody.
Yep.
Or whatever. Where you guys were always on the opposite sides.
Yeah. Cody and I are
Polar.
opposites. But that's why we work so well together. Right there.
Sure.
It is.
I did. Yeah.
Yin and yang.
He walks into the office and he knows he's not supposed to talk. That's working well together.
He's got RBF, permanent RBF.
All the time. We heard it all day, or not all day, but yesterday they were like, I was scared shitless of you, Cody.
Yep.
And then I got to know you and you're like harmless little teddy bear.
Yeah.
So
He was.
anyway.
Oh.
Cody. Was
So you got contract for deed, you got back into the bar scene, you're owning, operating.
Figured I'd try it. It was something I knew.
And this
was
is
something I
sober
loved.
now, right?
Now I'm sober. I'm a year sober now. Yeah. And I was scared, but I knew I had to do something that I knew I was good at. I was too good at it. I had to try. And I went back and it worked. It was I had to bring it back from a failed bar. It was kind of taken over by a lot of bikers at that time. It was in the news for fights and issues and problems. There was a lot of issues, and it was
Kind of like Roadhouse.
it was crazy.
All
Yeah,
right.
it was
Yeah,
crazy.
Jake Gyllenhaal and the original one with Patrick
Patrick
Swayze.
Swayze.
What's the other guy's name?
Sam Shepard?
Yeah, Sam Shepard.
Is that during the boom?
No, Sam
The
Elliott.
oil
Or
boom?
Elliott.
Sorry.
Yeah, so this was a little after the boom. So this was like
still,
post
little
boom as it was. Yeah, it was sketchy.
Yeah.
But it was really, really good, because what ended up happening is I was able to take the darkness of that industry. There's so much evil in that industry, and it's so easy to get consumed by it when you work in it. And so I was able to take the darkness of it and explain it to the people that I worked with, and I was able to show them, the dangers of the date rape, the dangers of the binge drinking, of the drug environment that's with it, of the drunk driving, of the bad choices. And I could lead by example, and I could give good role model. And it worked really, really well. And I was able to focus on doing events at the bar, and things that were more focused on doing as opposed to drinking. And it was just something to bring a light into an environment that's usually very dark. And it felt very good. And
So are you still operating, or is it more of a passive income now?
So I'm still owning it. So it's myself, my wife, and my mother-in-law that are partners of the bar.
Okay.
And this is what I'm getting to. It was I was going to manage for a year.
Yeah.
And I ended up managing for 7. It was just what I was good at. And I loved my employees, and I wanted to be there with them. And it was great until it wasn't. It all of a sudden started to turn, and my mental health started to suffer. And it was like the good and the brightness I was bringing to the environment only lasted for so long. And then I started to become the guy on the soapbox, and the boss who was, always saying the same things over and over again. And they were going back into their repetitive ways. And I got to see firsthand people daily, friends, family, everybody that wanted sobriety, that wanted to find what I had, but didn't want to take the steps to do it. And I got to see them fail over and over and over and over again without taking steps. And so it was really good for me to see. But the environment, the excuses, the attitudes of the alcoholism, it started to feed into me, and I couldn't be there anymore. I could feel myself changing. I could feel my mental health dying. And it was actually somebody that worked at F5 very shortly. Her name was Abby. She came to Dickinson, and she was great. And unfortunately, we just recently had some layoffs, so we had to let her go. And it was perfect for her. She found a great place, and she's working with her fiance now, and she's awesome. But we had a dinner, and she doesn't even realize she said this to me. But it made such a big deal to me. She had talked to me about leaving. She said that I could leave. And the way she said it, I had never considered it. I thought control. I needed to be there. I needed to be there for it to work. It wouldn't work without me,
Right.
So I had never even considered leaving. The way she told me had opened that door, and I decided that I was going to leave. And I told my mother-in-law, I said, I don't know what we're going to do, but I can't stay. I know we can't sell. We've been trying to sell for a long time. Post-COVID, people weren't buying bars. And I said, I just have to leave. We got to figure it out. And so now she's been managing. She's been managing it since. I walked away. It was within a month or two after I walked away that I got a Facebook message from a friend of mine in Fargo, and she said there's this company F5 that's hiring in Dickinson, and I think you and Tracy, one of you should apply for it because you'd be great at it.
Oh, I thought it was Mark that told you.
No,
Oh,
no, I just knew Mark was a part of it,
yeah.
and so I called him. I'm like, hey, there's a job going on out here. What's this F5 thing about? Tell me about it. And then Jess, as well, one of my bartenders in Dickinson.
Oh, yeah.
She was talking very highly about this guy named Adam
That's
that I
crazy.
should meet.
Because she only knew me drunk until I mean, I've been friends with her on Facebook, so she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But the last probably 3 times I saw her, I was on a bender, just a mess. I was a wreck, sleeping on her. I worked with her husband at the time. And,
Oh yeah.
And I'd travel out to Dickinson and try and sell tech stuff to oil companies and whatever. Which it was prime for the pickings out there because the infrastructure grew so fast that the tech infrastructure had to catch up. So I was like, I'm out here. So, but man, drinking, holy cow, drinking in Dickinson's you're an amateur no matter who you are if you're not from Dickinson. Like they drink.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
Oh,
cowboy
yeah.
drink.
Yeah, cowboy.
Like they got
I love
moonshine.
Western North Dakota.
And I drove out there in like a Jeep, and I felt like just such a pansy because they all drive like dualies and
Yeah.
tuck their jeans into their boots and stuff, and I'm just like, man, I am nobody. I tried doing it, and they like see right through me.
He's from far.
Your boots are too clean.
He's from Eastern North.
He's from
Yeah.
Imperial Cass.
Those are real. Those are real cowboys out there.
Yeah.
Real.
If somebody's wearing a cowboy hat here, it's because they're going to a party.
Yes.
True that.
So, how did you get your mental health back to, or maybe you're still depressed? I don't know.
No,
Okay, good.
I've been up and down. I just recently got over a back surgery, and so I did go through a very severe
Dude.
depression. But no, F5 was a godsend for
Yeah.
me. It was built for me,
Yeah.
and where I was in life. The only reason that I am somewhat successful, that I've done anything that's worth even talking about, is because of the people I've had in my life.
Yeah.
I've gotten multiple chances my whole life. I've been a fuck up my whole life.
Yeah.
I've been a piece of crap, and I've made horrible choices, and I've been an alcoholic. And my family is amazing.
Yeah.
I have incredible friends. I have incredible influences, and I have people that have just stuck with me and
Yeah.
believed in me more than I believed in myself. And because of that, I was able, and my wife, she's been my saving grace through all of this. She's the reason that I am who I am today.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have done any of this without support,
Yeah.
without
It's
somebody
connection.
believing in me more than myself. And
Yeah.
so I knew that I wanted to give back to people that were suffering, but I didn't know how.
Yeah. Mhm.
I wanted to go into counseling, but I'm in so much debt still from my student loans for going to school
Yeah.
for business that I didn't need. I just needed for my confidence, not for the stuff that I learned
Right.
there. That
If you're a
And-
bartender, you've already done counseling.
right, yeah, exactly. So I couldn't go back to school to do this, so I wanted to just do it, and I didn't know how. And F5 found me, and this is exactly what it is. It's helping without needing to go down that road of education that can get you into
Yeah.
a world of hurt if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a great thing that you created here. You guys are creating,
You're welcome.
yeah, that was a thing.
We're glad you're here.
Changing lives.
You not
every
only
day.
are helping the people that we help, but you're helping me help myself by allowing me to help other people, you know, in bigger ways than I can through just programs.
So tell the story of how you got the job.
This is
Well,
funny.
well, so there was a job opening in Dickinson, and I had a very decent resume that I thought that I could be, you know, good qualification for this job. And I had a good story. So I made a very good cover letter, good resume. And the people that I needed to get in contact with would not return my calls, would not answer me, would not give me the information that I wanted, would not give me interviews. They were in Vegas at the time. There was a guy named Adam and a guy named Scott that I needed to talk to.
Oh, we were in Vegas. Oh, okay.
So they were busy.
Mhm.
And I had talked to Scott, and he had
Really weren't that busy.
Oh, we were
That's
busy.
too Yeah.
We were at Top Golf.
yeah, they were busy.
It was kind of like a vacation / conference I
Yeah.
went to. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I took a few days off.
It was good.
I could tell when we talked on the phone that you weren't certain that I was the guy for the job. And you were just kind of asking me questions that were like, well, what kind of people have you worked with? What have you done? You know, and I just felt like it wasn't landing. And I'm like, okay. And when I didn't hear from you for so long, I was like, I need more. And we had talked about he was going to come out to Dickinson and we were going to do an interview out there. And it was going to be like a week or two later. And I'm like, that's too long. Somebody's going to get the job in the meantime. And so I said, I lied to him. And I told him that I had to come to Fargo for something for family because my family's back here. I said, I had to come back here for something anyway. While I'm in town, I'm just going to swing by. He's like, well, you don't have to. We'll do this, whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm going to just do it. And I told Tracy, I'm like, I'm going. This job is made for me. I need to go. And I went and I met Scott at the office and we had an interview and I just wouldn't let him not hire me.
It was pretty cool. I said,
Well
if this
played.
guy's willing to drive to Fargo,
Yeah.
I need to hire him. He just showed up at, I don't even know if we had an appointment set. He
I
just
don't
like,
think we did.
yeah, I'm just going to swing it. I'm right close. I'm like, are you stalking us? And there he was. I got off the phone with him, and he's walking in the front door.
And my Vikings jacket on.
funny
Made sure to wear my
person.
Vikings jacket.
Oh, good,
You know,
good
yeah.
play.
Funny
Yeah,
for
yeah.
someone who says he doesn't like sales.
Well, I could think. You know,
I think you just
You're
need to
good
get
at
behind
it.
what it
You
is.
just don't
yeah, I
like
just
it.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
You definitely have the prospecting bug. You just need to be passionate about what your product is.
That's you nailed it.
Yeah, it was just kind of cool because it was one of those stories, that you get to tell after that.
Yeah.
He just showed up, and it was like I said, it was. He goes, yeah, I'm really close, and next thing I hang up the phone, and he goes, hey, I'm Tori, and I'm like, holy shit, where were you outside? He goes, yeah, I was parked outside. When I was talking to you, I'm like, wow.
I'm pretty sure when we were in Vegas and you told me about Tori, I'm sure I said that you should hire him.
Yeah.
I probably didn't even know. Anytime Scott was hiring people during that time, I stayed out of it.
Sure.
He's just like, so
I didn't send you a long message. We were talking, but I knew you weren't the decision maker at that point.
ouch.
I'm the gatekeeper if I wanted it.
I believe that. Yeah.
Hey, remember that guy Tori?
He used to work for us.
Man, that was a good
He told
time.
me I wasn't a decision maker. Don't return his calls.
Yeah, that was cool. We are very fortunate that you were persistent
Yeah.
in
It
the
worked
sense
out.
that, because you're a perfect fit for Dickinson.
Well, thank you,
I
Sam.
mean,
You'd be
You're-
perfect
anywhere, but I think you're such a part of that. And I think when I was like, for me, I did a lot of the hiring in the smaller communities when we were just kind of blowing up.
Mhm.
And I've told Cody this too, as we're hiring, is that one of the elements or one of the important things for me to look at was how are they tied to the community? Because because there's a lot of people in those smaller, Williston, Dickinson, Minot, that they're there probably not for the reason to stay there. They're there to find something and then move out. Get to Fargo, get to Bismarck, that kind of concept. But I think the Williston people that we hired are amazing. They
I
both
agree.
entrenched in the community. You, Emily, just our Minot crew now is just they're a part of the community, and I think that's what brings F5 and what we do to the forefront is just having those people in those communities that people look at and go, "Oh, Rick, I've known Tori for a long time. He believes in this shit. I better jump on board."
Yeah.
So I'm really glad you decided to chase me down.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
We love
too.
you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Scott.
So how did the team think of yesterday?
I think it was taken well.
Good.
Yeah, I think it was taken really well. I was glad that they were able to make the journey across the state.
We had our all staff meeting yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, in the speech. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The
Good.
speech.
Yeah.
Best speech.
Good speech.
Those.
A couple of them.
All team.
Actually,
Off the
that
cuff.
first one that I did not know that I was only allotted like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I went for 35 minutes,
45.
45 minutes. No one
You
told me.
Who's gonna
Well,
stop you?
you know what
Who's gonna
happened is-
stop you?
Brody put out and it came up on the screen. Does Adam know there's a time that he set up on an agenda? A time agenda.
Oh,
And you couldn't see it because it was on the screen.
Oh.
That's why everybody was giggling a little bit.
when I was like wondering why they were giggling,
Yeah.
I was just talking about my depression.
Yeah. They're laughing. It's like, God, this is a tough crowd.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's funny you say that.
I just
'cause
got on one, man, and I was
You're-
just like,
That's why we didn't stop you.
yeah.
Those
You were
meetings,
just
like
rolling.
the information that we get is so valuable, and
Yeah.
being together is valuable. We all have that camaraderie because we're so far away,
Right.
And so it's nice to have that.
I
But
should do that like once a quarter.
it'd be nice if we
It would
could.
be,
Yeah.
I think you could save money if we just didn't do an overnight and we just did met in Bismarck.
Bismarck's kind of central for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it
Other than Grand
is,
Forks, but
but I think if we had like a couple vans or something and did it or whatever and save on gas, because there's more Fargo people than there is Bismarck,
Yeah.
but there's less travel for everyone if we go to Bismarck.
Right.
Well,
and most of our cities now have
remote office.
Long distances for a few.
Yeah. And most of our cities have vehicles now, so they can just pick the.
Or we should
5
just
people.
do it like twice a year, once in Fargo and once in Dickinson.
We are doing, and it was
Donuts.
Paige's idea to do. We're doing Western side meetups every quarter as well. So we're getting together. The 4 units are getting together once a quarter, and we're just shifting each.
Yeah.
each
It's
city
not
each
the
time.
same. The Microsoft Teams has a town hall program now where it's basically just a speaker, where it's like Teams, but it's just a town hall. So it's like one camera and then everyone else just kind of joins in
Oh,
or whatever. So it could be like a speaking thing or whatever, but it wouldn't be the same. It's not the same as being in person.
Right.
So it was nice seeing everybody yesterday.
I think it was good for them.
the all the information that we get at those are very valuable.
You're cool.
Oh,
But there's something about your emotions at those and the things that you say. And I think it just revives everybody. I think it gets everybody into the F5 soul of what we do and why we do this, because it's so hard as leaders in this company to promote that daily, in the work environment.
So you think that a leader being vulnerable is good?
100%. I think
Yeah.
what you did
Transparency.
yesterday.
I should.
You don't have to code it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a text from Megan last night saying the same thing. Because when you're vulnerable, like it gets you really set. Like you start second guessing. You're like, oh, they're gonna think I'm a wuss.
That's so funny. That's the whole stigma
It's the
about
whole
everything.
Yeah, I know.
It's
But it's different when it's
It's so
you.
back-
Like if
I
I saw
know.
someone else doing it, I'd be like, oh man, this
Yeah,
guy's
that takes
he's being
power.
real. He's
Yeah.
raw. He's bawling like a baby.
Yeah.
Very
this is
similar to
legit.
recovery.
But then when you do it, you're just like,
I don't.
I just put myself on a plate.
People are going to take advantage
That's what
of
I'm
me
sensitive
Yeah.
about.
now. Soft.
Yeah.
Like different in recovery rooms.
Yeah.
Like I could give us AA talk or something, and I'd do that, and I'd be like, "Oh, solid! That was awesome." When you do it in public, like it's just you never know.
Well, especially the people that work for you.
Yeah.
The people that you're leading and they see that. But I do believe that's probably one of the strongest leaders quality you can have
100%.
is
Huh.
that just that they can see that you're
I
not
have this.
rigid and you're not,
Just
everything's by the
transparent.
book and that
Yeah.
you are a person. You're a
Okay.
human being.
Otherwise,
Getting
you're
uncomfortable.
unapproachable.
Yeah, you don't like
Yeah, I want to be unapproachable. Yeah.
Like if you have your shit together all the time, then I don't want to come to you and say, "Listen, I'm totally burning this one down." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I like.
One of the
You don't
coolest
like-
things you said yesterday that I can relate to personally so well is when you said that, when you have so many people in your life that you love and your friends and everybody that you trust are all on your payroll. People don't know what that feels like. And it is such a lonely feeling. And you can't trust what you're getting back. You can't trust that input
Yeah,
that you're
because there's
getting.
always a fear they're going to lose it.
There's something behind it, and it's not 100% genuine,
Yeah.
and it can't be.
Yeah, it's
And-
impossible.
And it's tainted in a way, and it just makes you feel. When you said I just had to make a change in having friends as employees and I felt that so hard on a level that I can relate to. But I know that everybody in that room felt that you felt that way and can empathize with you, and can understand you a little bit better and understand why. You made F5 a lot stronger by being vulnerable every time you talk, every time you do that. And you too, man. You all do it in different ways, but that's what you are. You're criminal and cop. You're thinker and feeler. You guys have that dynamic of the yin and the yang, and you bring a different leadership feel, but they're both so genuine. And that genuine leadership is why we love being here and why we'll run into traffic for you guys.
Yeah, and I think it's part of the.
I won't.
You
It's
won't.
traffic. No.
Everyone
You don't work for us.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'd come get you once the traffic passed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once the cars are gone, I'll be.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be safe. Anywho. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will say that, like, out of, all of the, Scott has probably been the most, what would you call it? I'm leaving him on a cliff right now.
I don't know where the hell he's going, people.
Drum roll.
But for being unpaid, on staff or whatever, paid, and then being friends or whatever, like, I think the reason it worked between Scott and I is because we weren't friends before, really. We were acquaintances. And so we didn't really have any history,
Sure.
being on leadership and being friends or whatever. So he's, but it's still there, right? Like, it's like if he, there's always a fear of, like, the dictator kind of CEO, where if he pisses me off, like, I'm doing something that's pissing him off, can he really say something?
Right.
Because if he did, like, what happens if he got fired?
Right.
Then what? Like, probably what would happen is I would, be like, ah, shit, I fired him.
I'm gonna go get him back.
Get it back.
He's got a lot
I'll
of
come
program
back
shit.
for 2 times the.
What does he even do here?
That kind of has to be.
Yeah.
But Tara up in Grand Forks, we were making around the state trip, and she's a peer support up there, and they were going around introducing themselves, and she looked right at me. She goes, "What do you do?" I'm like, wow, everybody just, Cody about pissed his pants. He was laughing so hard.
Oh, it's not as bad as when, and she'll probably feel it if she watches it. But Nikki, I walked into the Devil's Lake office, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "What does that mean?" She was like, "Oh, I just meant you're busy."
You made time for us?
Yeah.
She always says,
I like
Attaboy says, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
no, and I think it's, part of it is, what you're talking about too, Tori, is, when you find people that are loyal and still can be a team member, an employee, there's, and I think Adam knows I would follow him just about anywhere and support him. But I think that's what brings power to that leadership. If we're at each other's throats all the time, people are going to just, you cause concern among your team, the team, the people that are working under us. And I think, there's probably been only 1 or 2 times where, we were at, like, totally opposite places.
Yeah.
But people noticed it.
Yeah.
They notice when that happens.
Yeah.
And that's why I mentioned yesterday in that executive meeting, when we have our executive team meeting, there's some fireworks there. But we don't carry that out into to the employees. We try to bring some stability.
It's maturity.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's hard some days.
I know.
It sucks being an adult some days.
But you've created an environment where it's okay to be a mess sometimes. You know what I mean? Or where it's okay to, like, disagree or say, like, you're annoying me. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, where it's like, it's a safe place.
Sure, it is.
Yeah. And I think,
How
like,
dare you?
You
You're annoying me, Adam.
but I think Jeff put it in perspective, like, on the recovery side of things, that, if you're a speaker or you're up there speaking and all you're talking about is rainbow and unicorns and how fucking great your life is,
Yeah.
people are just like, they can't relate to it.
Yeah.
But when you can get up there and say, 30 years sober and I'm still effed up,
Yeah.
and there's times where I feel this way,
Yeah.
and you share those emotions, people can relate to that.
Yeah.
And that's what I think happened yesterday, is people got to see how hard all of this was on you, and you wore it on your sleeve,
Yeah.
and they appreciated that.
Tired me out, man. I was in bed by 8:30 last night. I hadn't slept in a couple days, so it was.
I'm glad you.
That was like a combo, whatever. I'm also on increased medication for bipolar, so I think that might have been a little bit too. I was just like,
The perfect
just
storm.
a baby. Yes.
Yeah, he was his hormones were
that's
flying.
Like 3 times I had to be like, I don't know why this is happening.
Stop crying, Adam.
Menopause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I started thinking about Odin, so I was just like,
Oh, that's awful.
oh.
Yeah, we were having lunch or breakfast one morning. He looked at me and goes, started taking my meds again. He just saw my face light up like, yes!
Yay!
Yeah, it gets pretty hectic, impulsive, risk-taking, aggressive when I'm
But that's how you got this whole thing started.
Yeah, it was. I think there was a time and place
Where it was
for my
frightening.
mental health with ADHD. You know, like, but then it got to a point, like you can't run a business the same way you ran it when you started it.
No.
You know, like, and actually, I can see where this is where it makes or breaks CEOs, because it's like, you know, when you're the founder and you're doing the startup, like it's like the grind and the hustle and even potential burnout and stuff, like it's all needed to get it up and going.
Yeah.
Being creative, being outside the box, like, you know, working long hours, so like figuring out how to do accounting when you've never done it before. Like it's all like zeroed in, you know, and then you just change things on the fly anytime you want. And then you get to a point where it's like needs stability and you're like trying to change things and it loses every time. There's never a win in that scenario when you change things all the time. But I'm not built that way.
Yeah.
I'm not built to just sit, you know, and be idle and, you know, whatever. Or like I'm gonna create a new program. People are like, God, yeah.
Let's finish this.
Let's leave this one up and going. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like they don't think the way that I think. So it's,
You barely
you know,
moved into this office.
Yeah.
We're moving offices.
yeah, what do you do around here? Let's do something, you know. So yeah, it's good that, you know, maybe in the future there'll be a time and place for it again, and I'll get unmedicated and, you know.
No, it's a perfect. 'cause
Now
you
it's
have
a
people
build-
behind
it's a
you to
balance.
Keep it stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you in South Dakota, you can stop.
Yeah, I'll just do my thing in South
Start over.
Dakota. That's probably what I'll be. I'll be what would you call it? Like a canvasser or like a campaigner, you know, like maybe I'll just run politics. I like it. Yeah.
No.
No?
We tried this once.
No, we did. We tried, kind of.
Kind of tried it.
And I won the
And you won the
primary.
primary.
Yeah.
You would have been.
And primaries in North Dakota are typically the election, right? Because
You would have got it.
you're not running against a Democrat or Republican. You're usually running against who you're going to end up running against anyway.
In that part.
So it's usually whoever you are. But on the county level, it's independent, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were labeled as a debater with an unquenchable thirst.
That's where
Thirsty.
my personality trait was.
Yeah.
A thinking debater with unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Yeah. Scott thinks I lie.
Thank God, yeah. Google.
Yeah, that's why I'm on Google all the time because I'm just like a sponge.
Yeah. You were thirsty.
You know how many taxi cabs were in New York in 1987? 12,187.
Oh, that's Rain Man shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
trivia
for real.
pursuit.
Oh.
That's like.
Just play all the time.
Got his underwear at Kmart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, with this totally went
Okay.
left field. We got like 5 minutes left.
I wanted to ask, like, okay, how many houses are in Dickinson? Do you have houses there, or
You know,
what's
it's-
going on?
I'm really glad that you asked
Yeah.
that. Because, you know,
See,
we don't.
always public.
Always.
No one ever wants to have a side conversation about housing.
I don't know
Well,
anything
you know,
about it.
I think this is a perfect platform
Yeah,
to
this
have
is
a
a great
conversation.
platform.
Here we go.
You know, we only have, you know, currently one sober house in Dickinson,
Mhm.
one for men and one for
Oh,
women. and
in
it's on
general.
Hope's Landing.
I thought you were.
Yeah.
I thought you were F5 houses.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what
or
we're
whatever.
Yeah.
migrating to, if not, because there is a severe need for housing for F5 transitional housing in Dickinson, and that's a dream of ours to bring it there, and it's something that we really, really want to do.
Like, how bad do you want to do it?
How bad?
Yeah.
What's the top
Like, would
answer?
you go out and get a house?
Tell me what to
Put
do.
your name
Like
in
a
it?
rundown house that
And
you'd have
rent
to
it to
repair
F5?
a lot of stuff.
I don't think I would get approved for that.
Oh.
I mean,
But if you could, do you believe in it so much you'd put your name on it?
if I could, I tell you
Supply, the demand, everything.
what, I would run it by my wife first,
That's a good question.
Wow, good answer.
and if she was
Good
on
answer,
board,
Richard.
absolutely.
This is how you know Tori and I are not the same.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a wife.
Honey, we just bought 3 houses.
True.
So do I believe in the?
I'm not saying that
F5?
I'm going to make you do this, Tori. I'm
No.
saying that you believe in it so much that would you go out and buy a house and rent it to F5, turn it into an F5 house, and take the full risk and responsibility of it?
If I could, yeah, absolutely. I believe F5's program is designed to where that's not a risk. That's something that I would absolutely take on to help. I think that we're in these unique positions to where we're limited to our creativity, right? We're trudging into these environments of the unknown that have never been done before, besides what you guys have done so far. And the limits is our own imaginations. And we're going to have to go through different styles of getting to different places in different environments. Grand Forks is way different than Dickinson. Williston is way different than Devil's Lake. You know, we can't do the same things in the same places all the time. So we're going to have to get creative. So if that's something that I could do, absolutely. We need it. What I know is that Dickinson is suffering. Dickinson has a severe homeless problem. It has a severe, I thought being an alcoholic, a drunk, a drug user, somebody that maybe didn't always follow the rules of the law. I thought I had my thumb on the heartbeat of Dickinson and knew what was going on. But until I got into F5, I didn't realize the meth problem. I didn't realize the homeless problem. I didn't realize the fentanyl problem. These are problems that don't want to be seen. You know, they're not proud of their problems. They're hidden problems, and there is severe need. And I want to help. I want to help Dickinson. It's suffering. How we do that? I need help from you guys. I need guidance. I need support. I don't know the answers, but I do have the drive and I do have the desire. I got some connections. You know, I got some people that I know. You know, and I have a voice and have a story, and I'd like to use all of it to do what I can. And I've been given this ride or this journey for a reason, and I'm hoping to be able to use it for something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And one of the things that we do, you know, as we move forward with the different locations, you know, if that's the direction we can go financially and supportive from the communities, is the idea of the 2 fourplexes we now have in Fargo. They're working awesome. You know, that's the kind of environment we want, because the single dwell houses are not, they just don't become that's how we got started. So it's always going to be a piece of F5. Sure. But if we can move into the fourplexes, the eightplexes, where we can utilize those resources, that's where our success is going to come.
So the housing market in Dickinson's came back.
Yeah,
Where was it?
dramatically back to normal.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hearing.
Price-wise, you mean?
Yeah, they're back to
Normal.
Zero.
Time to get a house.
300 grand. These houses used to be like 600,000, 700,000, 800,000 during the boom.
What's really great is, you know, it's me, and now it's Emily as well, who she used to run the United Way solely in Dickinson. She has a lot of knowledge and a lot of connections as well, and together we can really support a lot of things out there. I know we'll have to hire, we'll have to figure things out, but we can do that as we go.
She was the ED, the executive director.
Yeah, she was the soul here in
Emily
Dickinson.
was?
Emily
That
was.
was the one? Okay. I was wondering who that was.
I don't know if her title was executive director. I don't know
She was
exactly
director
what
of
her title
something,
was,
wasn't
but she ran the Dickinson office solely.
I thought I asked her yesterday if she was an ED, and she said yeah.
Yeah, I thought she said yes. I think she said
Something.
yeah.
Interesting.
She wasn't this. Yeah, I don't think she was a CEO, but she was an executive.
That sounds right. I just don't want to mistitle her.
Right.
Well, Tori,
Yep.
Well, Adam,
I'd
Well,
say
Scott?
start canvassing for a house.
Ooh.
At
you
least
heard it
look.
here, folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can look.
Oh my
Well,
God.
look,
Camille's just like
You'll find.
in the air right now when she sees this.
You'll totally find it.
We'll be fine.
I'm gonna just throw it out there. If anybody's listening out there in Dickinson and you have a house that you'd like to donate to the F5 project, go to our website,
Well, always down for that.
townproject.org.
Always done.
Always.
We'll start it up
If you
tomorrow.
want to donate towards a house, that'd be cool too. Anything, but yeah, come find me. We're in the old hospital.
Tori, thanks for coming on today. Appreciate you, man. Thank you all the work you do out in Dickinson on the western side of the state, being a regional director and leading the team. Kirsten, Scott, pleasure as always.
Mhm.
Our sponsors, F5 Project, obviously, the Ridge Treatment and Reentry Center, Back to Construction, the Barney Pub and Eatery, and H&I Nutrition, Shirts from Fargo, and Heat Transfer Warehouse, and GoAwayBear.com.
Nailed it.
Well played.
It's pretty great.
Well played.
It's a thinking.
Wow.
Thank you, everybody.
Medication.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Oh yeah.